Hello and welcome back to the Institute of Pop, where I record, release, and discuss music of all shapes and sizes, whether it's underappreciated, overlooked, it doesn't matter. And today I'm delving into an album from 1968. It's The Family That Plays Together by Spirit. What a beautiful album cover that is. And I noticed that it's $6 a night there. Morrison Hotel was only $2.50 a night, wasn't it? Well, there's times have changed. And on the back there's Ed. Don't know exactly what he's saluting there, but it's a beautiful cover. And I think this is an original 1968 pressing that I got from Midlands Records over in Perth. Fantastic record store, check it out. Anyway, so this album in 1968, as I said, December, saw the boys, Ed, Randy, Jay, John, and Mark all living in Topanga in California, hence the name The Family That Plays Together. Unfortunately, they only played together for another couple of albums, but what a great time that was. And it also had the extra meaning that Ed was Randy's stepfather. And so it sounds like Ed had a line on Randy's mother. But which perfectly segues us into the opening song, I Got a Line on You. I Got a Line on You is probably the song that most people are familiar with on this album. It was a single. And why not? It's got a killer riff to start, fantastic vocals about love, the summer of love, maybe a year or so too late, but it's an absolutely gorgeous piece. I was in a couple of bands back when I was younger, and we played this song expecting to change the world and introduce the punters into spirit and psychedelic music. We got a lot of stunned faces, I must say. But then it segues into the guitar solo in the middle, which is sort of jazzy influenced. And it's a lot harder to play because it was left to me to play it, unfortunately. A lot harder to play than at first meets the ear, but still a great song. I still don't know what I Got a Line on You means. Does it mean I've got you sorted out, I've got you tagged, or is it more sinister with a sort of spinal tap, smell the glove sort of implications? Doesn't matter. From there, the song disintegrates and explodes down at the end, and we land with Murph and the Magic Tones in the cocktail lounge with piano and flute and samba drums, perhaps, or is it bossa nova? I'm not sure. And into the song It Shall Be. But then the vocals and the horns come in, and we're really on hallowed ground here. This is ethereal beauty, a cathedral of sound that hits us. And Mark's bass is underpinning everything, which shows his ability to not only underpin the songs, but also to offer melody and bass line. And from there, we move up a notch and we segue into the song Paul Richard. And this is Jay's first moment of songwriting on the album, and it's a fantastic one. And we immediately remark on the freshness of Garbage. It also serves as the launching pad for Randy's first harmonised guitar solos, which I'm a bit of a take or leave it. It's starting to pour outside, starting to rain massively, but we'll keep going. But in this occasion, it works beautifully, leading to that impossibly sustained, infinite note, it seems, to the end of the song. It Shall Be and Paul Richard together form the two songs which are my favourite songs on this album. Beautiful way to start the first album with this triptych of killer 1960s psychedelia. And now we seamlessly move into Silky Sam. There's a lot of S's in there. There's a hatful of S's to tell the truth. And this starts off with beautiful guitar and beautiful singing and a chorus which leads us up to la 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 la, all joyous and exciting. And then inexplicably it devolves into a poker game. Yes, we hear what's happening in the poker game, and then it's underpinned by this melodramatic jazz score, which is this jazz for jazz's sake? I don't know. It sort of reminds me of a Bad Trip soundtrack in a psychedelic movie. I'm not sure. Lovely bass playing by Mark in the outro, reaffirming how wonderful he is with the melody in the bass. But still, and then after that we devolve into Drunkard, which is a tender song to start off with, and the flutes come back in again, and it's absolutely lovely. But then once again we move into this swirling, jazzy, strident section, which reminds me of. I know it's supposed to sound like the person's drunk who's singing it, or the sound is drunk, but to me it reminds me of Cary Grant in North by Northwest being plied with alcohol and then being forced behind the wheel of a car, going along the road, the curvy roads above the cliffs, and waiting for him to crash and pass away that way. It's not a pleasant experience. And so these two songs are a bit, for me, are a bit of a misfire. And then that brings us up to a song which is almost, I think, universally signalled out as a misstep, and that's Darling If by Randy California. But for me, this is a gorgeous song. The piano comes in from John Locke, lovely guitar playing, fragile, tender vocals, and then we reach Randy California's majestic guitar solo, and it's majestic because of its restraint. It has that fragility and that tenderness to it that the rest of the song takes on board as well. And I absolutely adore this song. Although we have that lyrics, would you do anything for me, woman, to help me understand, to help me to be a man? And I'm thinking to myself, how often do we hear men talk about, woman, can you do this for me? How about the man actually does something? I don't know. But who am I to talk? Randy's a genius and I'm not. So that's how the first side ends. And it's a pretty damn good slice of 1968, if you ask me. Flipping over the disc, we start off the same way as the first album with, again, another killer riff, this time from It's All the Same, written by Randy and Ed. Great guitar line, great syncopation and funk with the drums, and moves along with wonderful lyrics. And then Randy goes in for another one of those harmonized guitar solos. I wonder how he would have played it live. He wouldn't have had pitch shifters in those days. I suppose maybe they did, but not harmonized pitch shifters like he would be using. Maybe you needed another guitarist, or maybe somebody else played guitar from the band. You can put a comment down below if you can enlighten me on that one. But then we go to the elephant in the room, and that's Ed's drum solo. Now, I'm not against drum solos per se, well, not unless they're played by Bill Bruford, and then maybe just the one, Bill, and let's get back into it. It's just this one slows everything down for me, and then when the song eventually comes back in, it seems to me that Ed's playing the drum solo under all of the outro work, and so I kind of question why we needed it in the first place. Still, I mean, he's Ed Cassidy, he's the stepfather to Randy, he's got a line on Mrs. California, so we'll give him a pass this time. Then we move into Jewish, another of Randy's songs, and this song is all sung in Hebrew. Now, I've got nothing against the language barrier here. I don't understand what's being said, or the topic, or the subject matter, and I don't really know what that is except for the title. It's more the song. It's very strident and forceful, and it sounds like a dirge, really. Maybe that's what it is. And Randy brings out the harmonized guitars for me, which again just don't work. They're too strong and punchy and in my face. And this song for me is a real bizarre song. In the middle, there's this little breakdown, light jazzy section, which works for me. It's just way too short. And then we come back into the song again. So I don't think this is a brilliant start to the side two of this album, but still, it's spirit. But if Randy wrote some of my favourites on side one, then it's Jay who steps up on side two for me with the amazing Dream Within a Dream. This is a psychedelic masterpiece and worth the price of admission into the album alone. It's got unbelievable lyrics, beautiful choral vocals, and the lovely line, stepping off this mortal coil would be my pleasure. A friend of mine, the Sunburnt Sailor, recorded a version of this song. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to ask him if I can upload it onto my channel. And then we build and build stupendously until the end and break down and descend to just the sole organ chord that's being played on the organ, strangely enough, by John. And then that leads us into the next song, She Smiles, which is a gorgeous, warm song. It's a ray of happiness. Yet the lyrics sort of tell us the opposite, that maybe we're pining for the summer of love, but it's slipping through our fingers like the flowers that are slipping through the girl's hair. Still, majestic, harmonized backing vocals. I'm hearing a lot of Beatles in these last two songs, and why not? And I'm talking more about the production elements and also how the songs seem to segue from one to the next, as opposed from next to the one. But you know what I mean. Um, and why not? Spirit of going for something here, and hats off to them for that. So that sets us up for an epic closer to the album, and Jay brings us Aren't You Glad? And aren't we happy he has? From those opening piano chords played on a piano, this song really sets itself up as being something that is going to be absolutely fantastic to take us out on this journey. Randy's guitar is omnipresent, and he's soloing all the way through the song, which in many ways could be a good thing, but perhaps it's just my pressing. But I would have liked him a little down in the mix to let the others shine through a bit. But I can't imagine how they would have played this live, but I'm very prepared to believe that it could have blown my mind if I had have seen it live. And towards the end, there's this incredible Randy California guitar wiggery, and he gets that wah happening and starts to freak out and feedback, and it's all beautiful and all good. So I feel the song goes on a bit long and might be a bit stale on the recorded version for me, but I'm sure it would have closed many a great gig live back in the day. Anyway, so that's The Family That Plays Together. It's my favourite Spirit album. I'm not saying it's the best. I mean, other people can have their opinions on that, but it's my favourite. It's the one I come back to most. And funnily enough, when I gave away all of my records and all four plus Randy California's Captain Copter album back in the day when I got rid of all the vinyl, The Family That Plays Together is the only one that I have repurchased, as I said, from Midlands Records. And it holds a special place in my heart. So there we are. That's it from the Institute of Pop for now. We're coming back again to visit with the church very soon. And don't forget that if you get any pleasure from music, then who am I to judge your opinion? So it's been a blast as always, and make sure you stay safe and keep listening. Bye now.